The Jack Benny Program.
Quality of product is essential to continuing success.
And Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
Right you are. Yes, sir. LSMFT, LSMFT, LSMFT.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
Sure thing. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Independent tobacco experts, auctioneers, buyers, and warehousemen present at the auctions can see the makers of Lucky Strike consistently select and buy the finer, the lighter, the naturally milder Lucky Strike tobacco.
This fine Lucky Strike tobacco gives you real, deep-down smoking enjoyment. So smoke that smoke of fine tobacco, Lucky Strike. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
49, sold American.
The Lucky Strike program, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Larry Stevens, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, about 3 hours ago, Jack Benny left home for the studio. Rochester was driving him, and on the way they had a little tire trouble. So let's go back and find out what happened.
How much longer before you'll have the spare on, Rochester?
Just a couple of minutes.
Couple of minutes. Would have been fixed long ago if I'd have done it myself.
Hand me the wrench, will you, boss?
The wrench? Here.
That's the screwdriver.
Oh, the wrench. Here.
That's the pump.
Oh, here.
That's the hubcap.
Oh, you want the wrench? The wrench.
You're back to the screwdriver again.
Oh.
Let's go around again, boss. I need the rest.
What?
You know, boss, you just ain't mechanically minded.
I am, too.
Then why do you call me every morning to screw the cap back on your toothpaste?
Look, just hurry with the tire, will you?
I'm almost finished.
Good. I just can't understand having a blowout. A very good tire. It's a General.
I know, but you've run this General down to a buck private.
Stop being silly. That tire hasn't got so many holes in it.
It hasn't. Boss, the inner tube could be arrested for indecent exposure.
What?
Even the wheel is ashamed to go around with it.
Rochester, that's a terrible joke. An awful joke. What are you laughing at?
You always say that, and 2 weeks later it shows up on your program.
It does not. Now, come on, you're all through. Let's get going, will you? You know, Rochester, one of the reasons I haven't fixed this car up is that I've been thinking of getting a new one.
Really, boss?
Yes. I think this car has just about seen its best days.
I told you that the day you bought it.
I know.
Do you really think you'll buy a new car?
Well, it all depends on what they'll allow me for a trade-in on this car. How much do you think they'll appraise it for?
Boss, when a car gets this old, they don't appraise it, they weigh it.
Well, they'll have to give me a good price or I won't trade. We're pretty close to NBC. You better start looking for a parking place.
Why don't we go to a parking lot?
Rochester.
Sorry, boss. I'm letting my post-war plans get the best of me.
Here's a parking place right here in front of the studio.
Okay.
I'm going in. You stay here and watch the car.
Yes, sir. What an automobile. This is the car that made the Irishman stop smiling.
What?
And drove months mad.
Never mind. Just stay here and wait for me. Da-da-dee-da-dum, da-dee-da-dum, da-dum, dum-dee. Oh, hello, little boy.
Hello. Mr. Benny, may I have your autograph, please?
Why, certainly. There you are. Jack Benny.
Thank you. Say, Mr. Benny, are you really 37 years old?
Well, I I will be in February. How old are you, Sonny?
5.
Only 5?
Well, I will be in June.
Well, goodbye, Sonny. I have to run away.
Jackson.
Oh, hello, Phil.
Am I late?
No, I just got here myself.
Are you Phil Harris?
Yeah, that's me. Do you want my autograph?
Gee, I'd sure like to have it.
Okay, hand me your book. There you are. Phil Harris.
Thank you. Gee, aren't there supposed to be 2 R's in Harris?
I don't know, kid. I spell it different every time.
Come on, Phil. Let's go.
Hey, Jackson, what's that you got under your arm?
Oh, it's a box of candy I'm giving Mary. Just a little surprise. You know, she was so nice to me when I was in the hospital last week. Come on, let's go in. You know, Phil, on the program today, I wish
Well,
you'd play...
hiya, Jack. Hello, Philsy.
Well, Cass Daly.
Hiya, Cass.
Well, glad to see you, Cass. You know, you're doing a swell job on the Fitch bandwagon.
Well, thanks. And say, Jack, I'm glad I met you and Phil.
Yeah?
I'd like to invite you to a party I'm giving Saturday night. Gosh, I've asked everybody in Hollywood. Clark Gable, Van Johnson, Bing Crosby, Cary Grant, Gary Cooper, Fred McMurray.
But, Cass, they're all men. Aren't you inviting any girls?
You're new around here, ain't you, bud?
Oh, I see.
Hey, Cass, you're a regular female wolf, ain't you?
Well, you know my sponsor's motto. If the shoe fits, wear it. I said it, and I'm glad.
Why? What's so long, Cass? See you later.
So long, Jack.
You know, Phil, it's fun coming down to broadcast every week. You see the old gang like Cass Daly and all the others.
Yeah. You know, Jackson, Cass lives out in my neighborhood.
He does?
Yeah. You only get to see her once a week, but I get to see Cass daily. Oh, Harris, you said it and nobody's glad.
Phil, how can you think of all those corny jokes?
I don't know, Jackson. They just come to me.
Well, isn't there someplace you can hide? You know, Phil, those are the kind of jokes that made the Irishman stop smiling and drove months mad. If Rochester thinks I'm going to wait 2 weeks, he's crazy. No, sir.
What did you say, Jackson?
Nothing. Hey, there's Larry rehearsing along. Come on, Phil, let's go over to my dressing room, will you? Come on.
I'm as restless as a willow in a windstorm. I'm as jumpy as a puppet on a string. I'd say that I had spring fever, but I know it isn't spring. I am starry-eyed and vaguely discontented, like a nightingale without a song to sing. Oh, why should I have spring fever when it isn't even spring? I keep wishing I were somewhere else, walking down a strange new street, hearing things that I have never heard from a girl I've yet to meet. I'm as busy as a spider spinning daydreams. I'm as giddy as a baby on a swing. I haven't seen a crocus or a rosebud or a robin on the wing. but I feel so gay in a melancholy way that it might as well be spring. It might as well be spring.
Hey, Phil, the kid's voice is improving all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, and how do you like the way my band accompanies them?
Very good, Phil, very good. But look, isn't that a new guitar player you've got over there?
Where?
Right over there, sitting on the stool. Isn't he new?
No, that's Frankie. We just washed him.
Oh. Well, Phil, why don't you use soap on the rest of them? You might find some pretty good musicians under there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you better. Well, you better rehearse your number now. I'm going over to Mary's dressing room and give her this box of candy.
Okay.
Yada-dee-da-dum, da-dee-da-dum, da-dum, dum, da-dee-da. Gee, Mary would be surprised to get this candy. Da-dum. I'll disguise my voice.
Who is it?
It's the man you're deliriously and madly in love with.
Oh, you can't fool me. Come on in, Charlie.
Charlie? Mary, I demand an explanation.
Oh, Jack, I knew it was you all the time.
Oh.
And stop pouting.
Pouting? Listen, sister, I never let any girl upset me.
Oh, no. What about the time your girlfriend, Gladys Abisco, returned those socks you knitted for her?
Mary, you know I don't knit socks for girls. I knitted those for myself. Well, I did.
Well, why'd you give them to Gladys?
Because they were too big for me. That's why. Anyway, Mary, I stopped off on the way to the studio and bought you this box of candy. Here.
Candy? Gee, thanks. Why'd you do that?
Because you were so nice to me when I was in the hospital last week.
Oh, it was nothing.
It was, too. You came to see me every day, and that's a sign you love me.
Oh, it is not.
It is, too. I know you. You try to act like you don't, but deep down inside, you think I'm peachy.
Oh, sure. I think you're ginger peachy with whipped cream and a cherry on top, a root toot toot, and a tutti fruit.
You've been around Harris too long. Listen, you can joke all you want to, Mary, but it's the little things you do that show me how you really feel. Like last night when I took you for a drive. That was a nice thing you did.
Well, we ran out of gas. Somebody had to get out and push.
Well, you didn't have to push so fast. I got a ticket. Anyway, Mary, now that I brought you a box of candy, you going to give me a little kiss?
Oh, for heaven's sake. Every time a man brings a girl a box of candy, he wants a kiss. It's the same thing with my sister, Babe.
It isn't the same. She brings the candy. Anyway, what are you stalling about? Give me a little kiss. Huh?
Jack, I'm not stalling, but take a look at yourself in the mirror. Why didn't you shave?
Well, I don't think I need a shave.
You do, too.
Well, maybe a little. I can wait till tomorrow.
Jack, I never saw anyone like you. If it's hair, you hate to lose it.
I'll get cleaned up later. I got to run back to my dressing room now and get ready for the show. So long.
So long. Oh, Jack, I meant to tell you, sometime when you're thinking of using a guest star, why not get Boris Karloff?
Boris Karloff?
Yeah, I heard him on Fred Allen's program last week, and he was wonderful.
Well, what do you know? Boris Karloff and Fred Allen on the same program. That's like two totem poles broadcasting from the La Brea tar pit. I'll see you later, Mary.
Okay.
I can't get over it. Karloff and Allen on the same program. That's like two totem poles. Oh, I said that. I must stop parking my gum on my glasses. As gruesome as he is, I can't understand how.
Oh, hello, Jack. What are you mumbling about?
Oh, hello, Don. Say, did you hear Fred Allen's program last week?
Yes. Oh, you know, he had the most terrific joke about you.
He did, huh? What was it?
He said the Lone Ranger wanted to follow your program because there was enough corn on it to feed his horse.
That's the first time I ever saw a man laugh himself out of a job. What a joke. Anyway, Alan's certainly the right comedian to be on a tea program. Tender Leaf presents Tender Head.
Oh, Jack, I can't understand why you always pick on Alan. I think he's a nice guy.
Don, you've been with me 15 years. What do you know about a nice guy? What makes you think Alan's so nice? Do you like his jokes?
No, but I like his smokes.
What?
He's a Lucky Strike fan. Fred smokes Lucky Strikes because he knows they're made of the lighter, the finer, the naturally milder tobacco.
But...
He knows that LSMFT stands for Lucky Strike, means fine tobacco.
But...
Yes, Jack, even the butts are so round, so firm, so free and easy on the draw.
I know, Don, I know. Look, I'll see you later. I got to go back to my dressing room. Gee, that was a pretty good gag I thought of. Tender Leaf presents Tender Head. I'm solid tonight. Well, I guess I better put my tie on and... Gee, Mary's right. I do need a shave. I wonder if I've got time to... Yeah, I'll call the studio barber and have him come up. Operator!
Oh, Mabel. What is it, Gertrude? Look at your switchboard. Mr. Benny's dressing room is flashing. Oh, yeah. I wonder what sweet Leilani wants now. I'll find out. Yes, Mr. Benny. The studio barber? One moment, I'll connect you. Say, Gertrude, did you see that box of candy Mr. Benny had when he came in the studio? Yeah. I wonder who he bought it for. I don't know, but the piece he gave me was lousy. You know, Gertrude, I'll never forget when Mr. Benny first went on the air. Oh, were you the operator then? No, my mother was. See? Did your mother tell you all about him? Yeah, but not till I was 14. You know, Mabel, I heard that on his first program, Mr. Benny came to the studio wearing spats, top hat, white tie, cutaway coat, and a cane. Did he get any laughs? Yeah, he forgot his pants. See, in those days, he was even cornier than Phil Harris. Yeah, and that ain't easy. You said it. Oh, Mabel, Mr. Benny is flashing you again. Yes, Mr. Benny?
I'm through with my call.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Mabel, may I talk to Gertrude for a minute?
It won't do you any good. She thought the candy was lousy.
Oh, well, never mind. Goodbye. That Mabel is cute. I wonder if her mother ever told her about me. Gee, those nights out on Sunset Boulevard where the Trocadero is now. Gosh, how time flies. Gee, I wish that barber would get here. I called him 10 minutes ago.
Say, Jack.
What is it, Mary?
I just went over the script, and do I have to do this awful joke in here?
What awful joke?
This one here where you say to me, Mary, why is a cat that walks on the beach like St. Nicholas?
Well?
And then I have to say, because it has sandy claws.
Well, Mary, you just don't get it. It's too subtle. You see, sandy claws, beach, cat.
I wouldn't do that joke if I had 9 lives.
Well, then I'll give it to Phil Harris. He'll think I'm doing him a favor.
Yeah, do that.
See you later. can't understand why she doesn't like that cat joke. Got screams when I was headlined at the Palace in Cucamonga. Come in.
I'm here to shave you, sir.
Oh, are you the barber?
Well, what do you think I am with this razor in my hand? The star of Spellbound?
I always have to run into him.
Now, let's see if I have everything. Soap, brush, razor, and plasma.
Plasma?
I may cut you.
Oh, well, be careful, will you?
Don't worry. Now, first, I'll sharpen my razor.
Oh, why? I always have to.
My, this razor strop seems to be full of wrinkles.
That's my arm.
Oh, yes, so it is. Leathery old limb, isn't it?
Look, why don't you just a second, Barber. Come in.
It's me, Mr. Benny Flanagan, the detective.
Oh, come in, Mr. Flanagan. Sit down over here.
Thanks. Who's there? Oh. It always sounds like I'm being followed.
Tell me, Inspector, have you got any clues about the man who robbed me of the $10,000 and came back and beat me up?
No, I'm here to settle an argument. My captain says that the description you gave of the crook was that he had a cauliflower ear, scar on his cheek, a broken nose, and a little wart in his chin. But I said that you said that the crook had a cauliflower ear, scar on his neck, a broken nose, and a little mole on his chin.
Well, you were right, Inspector.
Yeah, I know it was a little mole instead of a little wart.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up.
All right, I'm ready to shave you now.
Okay.
Who's he, Mr. Benny, you barber?
Well, who do you think he is with that razor in his hand? The star of Spellbound?
Say, that's very clever.
Thank you.
All right, stop bowing and shave me.
Okay, but I need some hot water.
You can get hot water out of that wash bowl there.
Yes, sir. This is the first dressing room I've ever seen with 6 wash bowls.
This dressing room is only temporary. They've been promising me a new one for 10 years. Now, Inspector, did you find any clues that... Barber, you got the hot water. Why don't you shave me?
I'm making tea.
Oh. Now, Inspector, did you find any other clues that would lead to the capture of the hold-up man?
Well, I found one man that was wearing brass knuckles, and his fingerprints was exactly the same as the ones we found on your vault.
Well, that was the man. Why didn't you arrest him?
I didn't have the heart. He was my brother.
I don't care if he was your brother or not. It was your duty to arrest him.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
Why not?
He's sending me through detective college.
On my money?
A little from you, a little from somebody else, a little from me.
From you?
Oh, yeah, he steals from me, too.
Flanagan, get out of here. Get out.
Okay. You're just mad because I got a little education.
Get out! This is all Steve Bradley's fault. What a publicity man. If I get robbed, the least he can do is get me a good detective.
Mr. Benny, I'm ready now. Would you like a close shave or a light shave?
What's the difference?
With a light shave, I take one step back.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Just shave me and get it over with. Oh, what's that now? Come in.
Hiya, Benny. Hello. Long time no see.
Oh, hello, Bradley. Fine press agent you are.
What's the matter? What's wrong? What's bothering you?
What's bothering me? Look, I had a dream that I won $600,000 at the racetrack, and you and your publicity made everybody believe it was true.
Yes.
And then what happened? I get robbed of $10,000. The same man comes back and beats me up.
Yeah, but Benny,
And then you put a detective on the case who doesn't know Greenberg from third base. Why shouldn't I be mad? What are you laughing at?
Well, the whole thing was a frame-up. I hired a man who robbed you of that $10,000 so it hit the newspapers, and you'd get a lot of publicity.
Publicity? You mean that...
Certainly, Benny. That crook was just an actor, and I gave him $200 to rob you.
Yeah, but how about him coming back and beating me up?
Now, don't worry about it, Benny. He threw that in for nothing.
All right, Steve, stop being funny and give me my $10,000.
Not so fast. I got another great idea.
Steve, I've had enough of your crazy ideas. Now give me my money.
Now, wait a minute, Benny. This idea's sensation. It'll sweep the country. Nothing like it has ever been done before.
Now, Steve, just a minute.
I've got an idea for a contest, and we'll give away your $10,000 as prizes.
You're going to give away my $10,000?
Put down that razor, Benny, and listen to me.
All right, but talk fast.
I can't tell you all about this contest till next week. I've got to get all the details worked out. But believe me, Benny, it'll be the most sensational thing you ever heard of. This will be the best way I've ever spent your money.
But Steve!
So long, Benny. So long. I'll see you next Sunday.
I never saw such a guy. What kind of a contest can that be where I'll have to give away prizes that'll cost me $10,000? Well, I'm not going to worry about it.
She loves me. She loves me not. She loves me. She loves me not. She loves me.
Barber, shave me. Don't pull him out.
Okay. That was the last one anyway.
I wonder what Steve has on his mind. What kind of a contest can it be? Oh, well, I'll find out next Sunday.
Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to listen in next Sunday and find out what this contest is all about. Is it true that Jack Benny is going to be forced to give away $10,000 in prizes? Pick him up, Mary. Yes, folks, $10,000 in prizes. So be sure to tune in next Sunday for all the details.
Ladies and gentlemen, Christmas is just 1 month away, and if our gifts are to reach their destinations on time, we should mail them early. So let's all cooperate and mail Christmas packages now or by December 10th at the latest. Thank you.
Jack will be back in just a minute, but first here is my good friend, F.E. Boone.
At 49, sold American.
In a cigarette, it's the tobacco that counts. And Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Yes, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Mr. Alexander G. Irvin, independent tobacco warehouseman of Reedsville, North Carolina, said,
As a tobacco man, I can tell you why Lucky Strike is a milder, better-tasting cigarette. Lucky Strike buys the mild, fragrant tobacco that makes for top smoking enjoyment. That's why I've smoked Lucky's for 11 years.
Quote, Lucky Strike buys the mild, fragrant tobacco that makes for top smoking enjoyment. Unquote. Yes, in a cigarette, it's the tobacco that counts. And Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. So smoke that smoke of fine tobacco, Lucky Strike.
The famous tobacco auctioneers heard on tonight's program are Mr. L.A. Speed Riggs of Goldsboro, North Carolina. And Mr. F.E. Boone of Lexington, Kentucky.
At 45, sold American.
Basil Rysdale speaking for LSMFT. LSMFT. LSMFT.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
Gee, Mary, I wonder what this contest can be that Steve Bradley has in mind.
I don't know, but he's crazy enough to do anything.
That's what worries me. If I'd have listened to him, it would have been me instead of Itchy stuck in that tunnel. Oh, well, we'll just have to wait and find out. Good night, folks.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
KFI Los Angeles. The Jack Benny Program.
Quality of product is essential to continuing success. LSMFT. LSMFT. LSMFT.
Remember,
year in,
year out, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
At 40, 49, American.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
You said it. LSMFT.
And the quality of your cigarette depends on the quality of tobacco that goes into it. Yes, in a cigarette, it's the tobacco that counts. So remember.
LSMFT.
Yes, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. And this fine Lucky Strike tobacco means real deep down smoking enjoyment for you.
So smoke that smoke of fine tobacco, Lucky Strike. So round, so firm, so fully packed. So free and easy on the draw.
The Lucky Strike program, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Larry Stevens, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're broadcasting from Palm Springs, California. Palm Springs, the garden spot of the desert, where the star of our show went for a cold and caught one. And here he is, Jack...
Achoo!
Gesundheit Benny!
Thank you. Hello again. This is Jack Benny talking. And, Don, I wish you wouldn't give a false impression about the climate in Palm Springs. Just so happens that I was sitting in the sun, and it was so hot, I caught this cold fanning myself with a Florida newspaper. Really, the weather is beautiful here.
I know, Jack, but why does the sun go down so early?
Don, it comes up in the morning, takes a look at the prices, and ducks behind the mountain. But it's really wonderful here, Don. There's so much to do.
Ah, it certainly is, Jack, and I've been taking advantage of it. Sunbathing, swimming, horseback riding.
Wait a minute, Don, wait a minute. You mean you found a horse that could hold you up?
Well, yes, Jack. I was riding a brown horse. You passed me on the trail.
What are you shouting for? Saw me on a trail. Was that you? I should have known. First time I ever saw a horse with arch supports. And a cane yet. That horse was so swayback, you looked like you were riding a slice of cantaloupe. If I told my riders once, I told them 1,000 times, that joke is no good. I told them leave it in anyway. But I'm pretty clever. Just think, a few weeks ago, there were people who couldn't stand me. Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. Hi, everybody.
Say, Mary, I've never seen you look so good. You've only been here a week, and you've got such a beautiful tan. You must have been out in the sun a lot.
Yeah, I wish I could find a room.
Oh, well, it is. It is awfully crowded here.
You're not kidding. Yesterday, I put a penny in a gum machine, pulled the lever, and a woman stuck her head out and said, "Sorry, no vacancies."
Mary, if we weren't in Palm Springs, I think you were making that up. Huh?
I didn't believe it myself till I saw the sign.
The sign?
Yeah, it said, "Please do not shake machine. You'll wake up the baby."
Oh, yes, I know that gum machine. It's called the Juicy Fruit Hacienda. They're booked up until April.
Oh, by the way, Mary, I saw you riding a bicycle down Palm Canyon Drive. You looked very cute in your sunsuit.
Well, thanks, Don. You look cute in yours, too.
What? Don, you walking around in a sunsuit? That takes a lot of courage.
Jack, what about you?
A lot of sunsuit, too. Don Wilson is the only guy I know who gets his suntan oil at a filling station. What are you saying? What are you saying?
Go ahead. Jack, what about you in that corny cowboy outfit?
Repeat that. What'd you say?
What about you in that corny cowboy outfit?
Oh, I looked all right.
And those high-heel shoes you were wearing. Wow.
Well, that shows how much you know. For your information, young lady, all cowboys wear high-heel shoes.
With open toes, you're crazy.
Well, I had to cut them. They hurt my feet.
What a cowboy. You should have seen him, Don, swaggering around town with 2 guns in his belt.
3. One's a cigarette lighter. Anyway, Mary, when you're in Palm Springs, you're supposed to dress like a tough Westerner.
Some tough Westerner. Your spurs still have dough in them from cutting out cookies.
Well, you ate most of them, sister, so don't be funny. I know what's cooking.
Okay, folks, the show may be flopping, but now Harris is here to start things popping, so shower me with that sun-kissed applause. That's what all said. That's what I love. Yeah.
Phil, I wish you wouldn't sneak in here like that. Now, let me ask you something. Why didn't you show up for rehearsal yesterday? Where were you?
Well, I'm sorry, Jackson. You see, I couldn't get a room in Palm Springs, so I'm staying out at the B-Bar H.
Oh, the B-Bar H, huh? What are you living in, a room or a cabin?
In the bar. It's crowded out there, too.
It's hard to guess that, you know. You must have loved that, Phil.
No, not anymore, partner. I'm on a wagon.
You on the wagon?
Yes, sirree. All I take is 2 drinks a day.
Phil, if you're on the wagon, you shouldn't drink anything.
Look, Jackson, my stomach's like a steel mill. You can shut it down, but don't let the fire go out.
Yeah. I know what you mean. That right arm of yours is a pretty good stoker, too. Now, it's time for a band number. Are your boys ready to play?
Yeah, Jackson, but I forgot to bring the music.
You didn't forget it, brother. I hid it. Music only confuses them anyway.
Now, wait a minute, Jackson. Wait a minute. Let's don't start that again. You've been riding my boys long enough. My orchestra is not as bad as you so unprovocatively infer.
There he goes with that word again, unprovocatively. Phil, you used that same word last Sunday.
Look, when I spend a whole winter learning something, I ain't going to throw it away on one broadcast.
Well, Phil, unprovocatively or not, all I know is when your band plays a number, it sounds like a filibuster with instruments. Now, go ahead and
Hold it a minute. Jackson, what was that lovely word you just said?
Filibuster.
Filibuster? Gee, I already know unprovocatively, and now filibuster. Say, Jackson, how do you spell filibuster?
C-A-T. Now, go ahead and play, will you?
C-A-T, filibuster. I'll have to remember that.
Yes, do. Play something. That was Dr. Lawyer, Indian Chief, played by Phil Harris, and his sweetest music this side of a Cathedral City orchestra. What a band. They look like a whole month of lost weekends. And now, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, Jackson, okay, but I still say my orchestra's not as bad as you so unprovocatively infer.
There he goes again. Phil, what are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say this. If my band is as lousy as you say it is, why do you have them on your program?
Because I feel it's my civic duty to keep them off the street. That's why. What a bunch of guys. Every time we have a sound effect of a police siren, they throw up their hands and holler, "We was framed." Then they get into a big argument over who's going to ride on the back step. Some musician. Phil, how long have your boys been with you?
About 14 years.
Well, you ought to buy them some new clothes. The numbers on their shirts are beginning to fade. Dress them up a little. And now, ladies and gentlemen...
Jackson, I'm telling you for the last time, my band is not as bad as you so unprovocatively filibuster.
Filibuster?
C-A-T.
Go away, will you? How do you like that, man? I tell him C-A-T spells filibuster, he believes it.
Well, I think it's a shame, though, you take advantage of Phil just because he's a dope.
You tell him, Libby.
But, Mary, it's such a simple word, filibuster.
Oh, sure. I'll bet you don't even know what it means.
I do, too. A filibuster is when a man gets up and, well, he says a lot of things that don't quite... Well, he rambles on and on.
That's a tobacco auctioneer.
I don't mean him. What I mean
Oh,
is...
Mary, what Jack is trying to say is that a filibuster is an innocuous speech, the main purpose of which is not to necessarily convey subject matter, but to deliberately delay the introduction of controversial issues.
I never should have gone on the wagon.
Quiet, Phil.
Now, I'll give you an example. If I knew that Jack was going to cut my salary, I'd prevent him from telling me by filibustering.
Oh, Don, I'm glad you mentioned that. By a strange coincidence, I was looking over my budget, and would you mind taking...
LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
A little cut.
So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
Don.
Tick, 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 tick.
Yeah, a cut.
Yes,
a little
sir,
cut.
you bet. With men and on tobacco best, it's Lucky's 2-to-1.
Don.
Lucky Strikes are made of the finer, the lighter, the naturally milder tobacco.
Phil.
LSMFT.
Mary.
I've been smoking Lucky Strikes for nigh on 25 years because I've seen them...
Wait a minute. I'm not going to cut anybody's salary.
LSMF.
Oh.
Everybody's so impetuous. C-A-T, impetuous. Anyway, Phil, that's what a filibuster is. Now, let's get on with the... I'll get it. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny. This is Rochester.
Rochester, you know I'm in the middle of a program. Do you have to call me now?
Well, this is an emergency.
Every time you drive my car anyplace, there's an emergency. What happened now?
Well, boss, you know after you pass Riverside where the highway runs parallel to the railroad tracks?
Yes?
I was driving along minding my own business, and as I passed the train, the engineer stuck his head out and yelled, "Which way to Palm Springs?"
Uh-huh.
And I made the fatal mistake of saying, "Follow me."
Follow you? Rochester, are you trying to tell me you had a wreck with the train?
Boss, let's just call it a mismating of metallic personalities.
What?
If a train pulls into Palm Springs wearing fender pants with a sharp grease, they're yours.
This is terrible. Which train was it?
Well, now it's the Atchison, Topeka, and Chevrolet.
Now I'll have to buy a new car.
You better buy some new clothes, too.
New clothes?
You know that hook on the train that picks up the mail bags?
Yes?
It got your laundry.
My laundry? Rochester, all my shirts were in that bag.
Don't worry, boss. I wired ahead to the next station.
What did you say?
No starch.
I didn't know the Harvey girls were ironing on the side. Now, Rochester, you get out here the best way you can, will you?
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye. If my car didn't have 9 lives, I don't know what I'd do.
Every time you're near a rose, aren't you glad you got a nose? And if the dawn is fresh with dew, aren't you glad you're you? When the meadow lark appears, aren't you glad you've got 2 ears? And if your heart is singing too, aren't you glad you're you? You can see a summer sky or touch a friendly hand or taste an apple pie. Pardon the grammar, but ain't life grand? And when you wake up each morn, aren't you glad that you were born? Think what you got the whole day through. Aren't you glad you're you? You can see a summer sky or touch a friendly hand or taste an apple pie. Pardon the grammar, but ain't life grand? And when you wake up each morn, aren't you glad that you were born? Think what you got the whole day through. Aren't you glad you're you?
That was Aren't You Glad You're You, sung by Larry Stevens. Very good, Larry. And now, kids, after the show tonight, I want you all to come over to my place and have some sandwiches and coffee. You know, I've got Eddie Cantor's house here.
Oh, you have?
Mary, what's so funny about my having Eddie Cantor's house?
Well, tell Don how you got it.
Mary, it's not that important. I got the house. That's all that counts.
Well, anyway, Don, here's the way it happened.
It happened.
Jack and I came down to
Wait, it
Palm
happened.
Springs last Monday. When we arrived in town, we parked the car and walked down the street looking for a real estate agent.
Mary, isn't Palm Springs wonderful? You know, I like to come down here. The only chance I get to wear my cowboy suit.
Jack, don't walk so fast. The sand gets in my open-toe shoes.
Mine, too. Yeah, I'm getting hungry.
So am I. Let's get something to eat.
All right, maybe we can... Well, we're in luck. There's a hot dog stand.
Some luck.
You wait here. I'll be right back.
Pickle in the middle and the mustard on top, just the way you like 'em, and they're all red hot.
Two hot dogs, please.
Couple puppies coming up.
Say, I remember you. What are you doing in Palm Springs?
Well, I'm opening up a new branch. So far, I got a hot dog stand in Santa Monica, Pasadena, San Bernardino, Anaheim, Azusa, and Cucamonga.
Oh, and now you've got one in Palm Springs, huh?
Yes, you see, I'm opening up so many stands that everybody in California will soon be hot dog unconscious.
You mean hot dog conscious?
Unconscious.
Conscious.
Taste him.
Oh, I see. Well, how about my hot dog?
Coming up. What kind of mustard would you like? Strong, mild, or irresistible?
Mild, please.
Well, here you are.
Thank you. How much are the hot dogs?
To you, 10 cents.
Well, how much are they to other people?
10 cents. Who do you think you are?
Okay. Here's your money.
Thank you very much. Pickle in the middle and the mustard on top, just the way you like 'em, and they're all red hot.
Here you are. Here you are, Mary. Here's your hot dog.
Jack, I don't think a hot dog's going to do me. I want a regular lunch.
But, Mary, to us, these were 10 cents apiece.
To us? Well, how much are they to other people?
10 cents. Who do you think we are? Anyway, if we eat these, we won't be wasting time. I have to find a place to live here.
Well, first let's have a regular lunch.
All right, come on. We'll go over to the Dunes. That's a nice restaurant.
Gee, it's sure crowded today. I hope we get a table.
Yeah. Here comes the... Oh, pardon me. Are you the waiter?
Well, what do you think I am with this shirt, tie, and shoes on? A guest?
I thought I could get away from him down here. I'd like to get a table for two, please.
As soon as I have one, go into the bar and I'll call you.
I don't want to go into the bar.
Well, go somewhere. I can't stand you here.
Now, look, we came in here to get something to eat, and if you don't show...
Stop breathing on my discharge button.
Oh, for heaven's sake, all I want...
Say, Jack.
What?
Isn't that Eddie Cantor sitting all alone at that table?
Eddie Cantor? Where? Oh, yeah, maybe we can sit with him. Yeah, that's Eddie. Gee, I hope I look as good as he does when I'm his age. Come on, Mary, let's go sit with him.
Say, Jack, I just thought of something. Eddie's got a house in Palm Springs. Maybe he'll rent you a room.
What do you mean, rent me a room? He's a friend of mine. He'll probably give it to me for nothing. Let's sit with him. Hello, Eddie. How are you?
Well, Jack, Mary, sit down. Sit down. Say, I haven't seen you in a long time, Jack. You look marvelous.
Well, thanks, Eddie, but I have been a little sick, you know.
Sick or not, I hope I look as good as you do when I'm your age.
You did.
Shut up.
Well, how's the family, Eddie? How's Ida and the boys?
The boys?
Yeah, your writers.
Oh, pooh. For a minute, you scared me. I haven't been home all week, you know.
You haven't?
No, but I'm leaving for Los Angeles tonight.
Eddie, you're going back to Los Angeles?
Gee, I'm starved, Jack. I'm going to order something.
Go ahead, Mary. Incidentally, the peanut butter sandwiches here are delicious.
Incidentally, I'm ordering the roast beef.
Incidentally, the roast beef costs $1.75.
Incidentally, everybody's looking at us. Shut up.
All right, Mary, you can have the roast beef. But if I want a kiss later, don't ask what for.
Oh, brother, what you have to go through to keep from starving.
Say, I'm kind of hungry myself. What are you having, Eddie? It looks good.
Chicken soup with egg noodles.
Chicken soup with egg noodles? I think I'll have some of that.
Okay, I'll have the waiter bring you a spoon.
No. No, Eddie. Eddie, I'll order some. You know, a bowl for myself.
They haven't got it today. I brought this from home.
Oh, spoon, waiter. Spoon. You don't have to throw it.
And waiter, bring me an order of roast beef.
At last, a sale in this booth. I can't believe it.
Fresh guy. Gee, this soup looks good, Eddie.
Yeah, let's start. Ready? Scoop.
You know, Eddie, I'm sure glad I... Boy, this soup is hot. You know, Eddie, I'm sure glad Eddie, would you mind eating with your left hand and putting your right arm around my shoulder? I'm too far from the bowl.
Look, Jack, why don't you put your right hand through my left sleeve, then we can both dip at the same time.
No, then we'd have to cut a hole in your coat. That won't work.
Why don't you put the bowl on my head and eat piggyback?
You go and get that roast beef. I think we're all right now, Eddie. Let's go.
Okay, ready? Scoop.
As I was saying, Eddie, I'm sure glad I bumped into...
Jack, would you mind breaking a cracker and putting it into the soup?
But I can't stand crackers in my soup.
Well, break one in anyway and float it over to my side.
Okay. There. Anyway, Eddie, I'm sure glad You see, the crackers aren't floating. They're all on my side.
Well, tip the bowl a little.
Oh, yeah.
C-A-T.
Get ready, Eddie. Forward, soup. Say, Mary, while you're waiting, why don't you get a spoon and join us?
Don't bring guests. It's crowded enough.
Well, I've had enough anyway.
Here's your roast beef.
Thank you.
Do you want 3 forks with it, or are the boys sitting this one out?
Don't be so smart. Now, Eddie, as I was saying, I'm sure glad I bumped into you. See, I'm going to stay in Palm Springs for a while, and I was wondering if you knew of any place where I could live. When did you say you were going back, Eddie?
Tonight.
Oh. Well, I was just wondering if you knew of any place where I could live from tonight on, is it?
Well, Jack, I can't think of any place for rent at the moment, but say, I'll tell you what.
What? Tell me what? What?
No, I don't think you'd like
Yes,
it.
I would. Tell me. What are you going to say, Eddie? What?
Well, I happen to have a little house down here, and...
Yeah. Right, yeah.
So why don't you stay there?
Well, that's darn nice, Eddie. What would you charge me for it?
Oh, Jack, we're friends. We've known each other for years. Take the house for nothing.
No, Eddie. Now, wait. Friendship is friendship, but I don't want to take advantage of it. Now, I insist on paying you for the house.
Oh, take it for nothing, please. I'll feel better.
But, Eddie, I'll feel much better if you charge me something for it. A little something.
No.
Yes. Now, how much do you want for 1 week?
$300.
$300? Isn't that a big jump from nothing?
waiter, bring me some more roast beef. We'll be here a long time.
Mary, look, Eddie, $300, a lot of money.
But, Jack, look what you're getting. A tennis court.
I don't play tennis.
A swimming pool.
Look, I can't swim.
And a beautiful kitchen. I know you make cookies.
Eddie, I still think $300 is a little high.
All right, you can have the house for $250. How's that?
Look, Eddie, give me the house for nothing. You'll feel better, like you said.
All right, Jack, I'll give you the house for nothing, but do me one favor.
What?
There are plenty of hotels in Palm Springs. Don't start a new one, huh?
Don't worry, I won't. Thanks, Eddie.
But just a minute, Jack. Before I give you the key, I think I'd better call Ida and see if it's okay.
All right, Eddie, do it now.
I'll be back in a minute.
Say, Mary, this is really a break, isn't it? I never dreamed I'd get Cantor's house, and for nothing. See, I can give one room to Don, one to Phil, one room to you, one to Larry.
Wait a minute, Ida. Don't hang up. But Ida, Ida, I couldn't turn him down. He's an old friend. He's an old what? But Ida, how would you feel if I was in his position? How much can he make selling cigarettes? But Ida, now look, Ida, I'm the boss. I'm not going to argue with you any longer. I promised Jack Benny could have the house and he's going to get it. Goodbye. Well, Jack, it's all settled. And are you in luck? To anybody else, the house would be $300.
And to me, it's for nothing?
$300. Who do you think you are?
Oh, well, the soup didn't cost me anything. Come on, Mary, let's go.
Jack will be back in just a minute, but first, here's my good friend, Effie Boone.
At 49, American.
Certain facts must be plain to every smoker.
It takes fine tobacco to make a fine cigarette.
And Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Yes, independent tobacco experts present at the auctions year after year can see the makers of Lucky Strike consistently select and buy the finer, the lighter, the naturally milder Lucky Strike tobacco. This fine Lucky Strike tobacco means real deep-down smoking enjoyment for you. Certain facts are plain. In a cigarette, it's the tobacco that counts. And Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
Yes, LSMFT.
So smoke that smoke of fine tobacco, Lucky Strike. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
The famous tobacco auctioneers heard on tonight's program are Mr. F.E. Boone of Lexington, Kentucky.
At 49, American.
And Mr. L.A. Speed Riggs of Goldsboro, North Carolina.
And
And this is Basil Rysdale speaking for Lucky Strike. LSMFT. LSMFT. LSMFT.
There's fine smoking pleasure in fine tobacco. And Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
Gee, Mary, it was certainly nice of Eddie Cantor to let me have his house.
It sure was.
You know, he was only kidding. He gave it to me for nothing. And just think, it has 4 bedrooms.
Yeah, you'll make a fortune.
Mary, I'm not going to charge my friends. It's my fault that everybody can't stand me. Good night, folks.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.